Big D Entertainment, in association with Dipsy Doodle Productions, presents The Dave Holly Hour. Brought to you by Trio Jazz Club, Sioux Falls' premier jazz club. Enter as friends, leave as family. Phil's Pub, Phil's, your local dive with music for the people. Chasers Food and Spirits, Excel Chiropractic, and Quality Nails. The Dave Holly Hour features Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment Conversations. A true lover of arts, entertainment, good food, and fun times, including an occasional Jack Daniels. Okay, so a few Jack Daniels. Here he is, Dave Holly.
Cheers, everyone. Hard to imagine the official start of summer is just a couple of days away. It's the day many refer to as the longest day of the year. No, they're all 24 hours. But it is when the sun in the northern hemisphere reaches its highest point, providing the most amount of sunshine for a day, time-wise. Then the days will slowly lose sunshine for 6 months. No matter what astrological season it may be, though, arts and entertainment scene in the Sioux Empire, always hot. This episode features actors Abby Anderson and Ronan Melomo. They'll be performing in the South Dakota Shakespeare Festival's production of Much Ado About Nothing this weekend in Vermilion. They tell us about their experience of how they came to appreciate the Bard's works. We are just 1 week away from the 7th Annual Sioux Falls Stage Awards. Luke Tatge is responsible for putting it all together, and he'll tell us all about it. So come on in, join us. We're waiving the cover charge, as always, here at the Dipsy Doodle Production Studio. Dress code, black tie formal, 3 words not spoken in the studio. Seating is limited, and while we supply ice, make sure to bring your own beverage. Of course, my usual sipping a Jasper Newton, the drink name I choose for a Jack Daniels Diet Coke with a lime.
Unbelievable!
But first,
Yeah!
Yummy.
I know!
That'd be fantastic. You know what I'm talking about. Dave's Fave.
each week we salute a person or business I feel is worthy of a shout-out for any number of reasons. This week's Dave's Fave is the multi-talented Clinton Storr. He played a few roles in the musical Legally Blonde, produced by the Premier Playhouse this past weekend. His delivery boy part, absolutely hilarious. Oh, did you miss the show? Don't worry. It's on this weekend as well, and they still have tickets available. It's a very good show that you'll be thankful for seeing. Want to know other Dave's Faves I have? Well, go to the Dave's Fave page on the show website, davehollyhour.com. After you look at that page, go to the trivia page and see the schedule we have at Chasers, West 12th and Ellis Road. Stop in for great food, great beverages, and fun times. Monday nights at 7, we play Dave Holly Hour Trivia with 7 fun rounds and great prizes. This coming Monday, June 22nd, it's going to be the start of our Remainder of the Year tournament. Naturally, the theme will be tournaments for this week, and we'll have other things the rest of the way through the year. Chasers, your neighborhood gathering place. Honorable mention. What made Dave laugh, chuckle, chortle, downright slap my knee silly, or simply fill my heart with happiness? That's what I typically say and start off this honorable mention with. And, you know, one of the things we started this segment for was to give kudos to events that have already taken place, but we didn't have a chance to chat with someone about it. Such the case, Sioux Falls Pride drew a great crowd over the weekend. Mother Nature was kind, and the parade and all the after-parade performances and parties incredibly colorful. Enjoy the rest of Pride Month. Remember, you always have allies at the Dave Holly Hour. Later in the show, Luke Tatge. In just a few minutes, Shakespearean actors Abby Anderson and Ronan Melomo on the Dave Holly Hour.
Trio Jazz Club is an intimate music venue in the heart of Sioux Falls. It's family-owned and family-run. Ricardo and Mary Beth and the entire staff provide the art of hospitality, while the best local and regional musicians provide the smooth sounds. It's a great vibe with live music Tuesday through Saturday nights. The chefs and mixologists offer an amazing menu and beer and wine lists. Cocktails as smooth as the jazz. Join the club, Trio Jazz Club, across from the Washington Pavilion. Enter as friends, leave as family.
Ladies, when it's time to give your nails some love, get that extra special treatment from Quality Nails in Sioux Falls. Manicures and pedicures that look great and make you feel fantastic. Zaya and Tony don't simply provide the service, they provide professional care for your hands and feet, whether you just want the basics or you're looking for an extra special look with added flair. Oh, and guys, it's okay to treat yourself too. Quality Nails on Minnesota Avenue. Call for an appointment, 605-334-1463. Walk-ins welcome.
Looking for great music, good company, and a place to kick back? Head to Phil's Pub. Every Thursday, join the fun at Trap the Queen of Spades, where the jackpot keeps growing and every game helps support community cats. This Friday at 7, catch a free live show featuring I Know, Right? And the Donnybrook Brawlers for a night of rock and roll and good times. Then on July 24th, the 1270s bring the hits of the 50s, 60s, and 70s to downtown Sioux Falls with 3 hours of classic rock and roll. Now, looking ahead, don't miss Matt D. September 11th, Colin Donnelly September 18th, bringing Americana, outlaw country, and unforgettable storytelling to the Phil's stage. Grab a slice, bring some friends, and make yourself at home at Phil's Pub. See more on Phil's Facebook page.
Arts and entertainment lovers, you hit the mark. It's the Dave Holly Hour.
Welcome back, everyone. As always, I promise you every single time that I start every conversation with us, it is always a pleasure to talk Sioux Empire, arts, and entertainment. Oh, and you know, one of my big thrills is anytime we get new guests. Now, originally, one of the guests for the show, this segment, was going to be Rebecca Bailey from South Dakota Shakespeare Festival. Unfortunately, couldn't make it. So what do we get? We get a couple of really cool actors and people we're going to get to know here today that are in the South Dakota Shakespeare Festival going on this weekend in Vermilion. Welcome, Abby Anderson.
Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. And Ronan, the pronunciation of your last name?
Melomo.
Ma. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. A ma, and then the big line above the first O.
Yeah, Melomo.
Melomo.
You want to get really authentic with it?
What's the background on that?
It's Italian, Southern Italian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Southern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Which is what most people think of when they think of the food.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go someplace where it's a Northern Italian menu. What's this?
Rice?
Yeah, a little different and so forth. All right, but so great to have you both here. So let's get some backgrounds first. All right, so Abby, where are you from originally?
So I grew up in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Okay.
And went to the East Coast for college, and now I live in New York City.
All right, and what college did you go to?
I went to Rider University.
Rider.
Mm-hmm.
You have a master's as well, though, don't you?
I do, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I did that down in southern Mississippi.
Southern Miss. Oh, wow, you've been
all over
covering,
the place.
Yeah, and now you're here in South Dakota doing Shakespeare.
Yeah.
All right. Ronan, how about you?
I was born and raised in Austin, Texas. I also went to the East Coast for my undergrad, and then I went back down to Texas for a little bit, and then Virginia for my master's.
My wife and I, 2 summers ago, made it to Austin, Texas.
Oh, great.
Because they had really great, we had a bunch of leftover money with Allegiant that we had to use up. And so we flew down there, loved the place.
That's so good. Did you get the tacos?
Yes.
Good.
Also had great barbecue.
Yes.
Saw the bats.
You saw the bats?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen the bats in years.
Oh, man, it was great. And then Austin City Limits.
You went to the festival or you went to the live stream?
We just went to the tour of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so freaking cool.
Who did you see?
Didn't get to see anybody.
Oh, but you
it was just
toured
the
the-
tour
I
in the
see.
morning and so
Yes.
forth, and because we're old and we can't stay up very late anymore. But it was just a great thing. And have you been in that new theater?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Excellent theater.
You know, the thing that it's a marvel, really, the way it was done architecturally, that
Mhm.
no seat is further than 75 feet away
Yeah.
visually from the stage.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, they got that one back row toward the end where every seat's 420. Thank you, Willie Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson.
All right. So let's start with you then, Abby.
Sure.
In terms of you becoming a Shakespearean actor,
Yeah.
at what point did, because I'm assuming you're probably in, you know, high school, maybe even younger than that, or in plays and musicals and so forth, and then you go out to the East Coast, and where was the turning point of Shakespeare? What is this all about?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually started with a background in musical theater.
Okay.
Was what I really focused on growing up and through my undergrad. And it wasn't until the pandemic hit that I even considered grad school as an option. And with that,
Mhm.
thinking about what is the type of work I'd like to do that I haven't really explored yet. And for me, that was Shakespeare, which I've always loved, but had never really explored from an educational standpoint. How do I get into this and break into this?
Right.
And so that was a big focus for me in grad school. And while I was there, started auditioning primarily for Shakespeare shows, and it's what I've been doing mostly since, which
Yes,
has been really
you have
really
quite the
fun.
resume there. What's been one of the favorites that you've done so far in terms of your role and the Shakespearean experience overall?
Yeah, I think last year I got to play what I would consider my dream role, which was Rosalind and As You Like It, which was so much fun and very similar to the show we're doing now. It was a small cast version,
Right.
which is always really fun because everyone's changing costumes and playing multiple characters. And so the combination of all those things made that a really memorable experience.
Yeah. So, Ronan, when it comes to you being a Shakespearean actor, what do you enjoy about performing?
Oh my gosh. But I can't just say everything. The size of it, the language of it. I trained at the Stella Adler studio, and she talks about actors do what they do because their souls are too big for the life that they would live otherwise.
Love that.
Yeah,
beautiful.
she could speak. And you know, there's no one that I have worked with that writes in the size that Shakespeare writes in the depth of humanity and feeling that resonates with me. I know that other people resonate with other writers, but for me, it just every time I'm so moved by his words and his people that he creates.
What was the time frame for you of where you even knew about Shakespeare?
I was, you know, I was
Read Romeo and Juliet and junior
yeah, we
high
read
or
a lot
what?
of it in
Excuse
high
me,
school.
You're young, middle school.
I was witch number 2 when I was in 6th grade, things like that. I grew up hating it though.
Yeah.
I hated Shakespeare. I thought it was so boring. I didn't understand it, and no one took the time to teach it to me until I was able to get it in my own body and in my own words and on my own feet and see people do it, not just read it on the page. And that's when it really connected for me.
Favorite role for you?
Oh, I have to say, it's also true, but I have to say Romeo. I played Romeo in undergrad alongside a woman who is now my wife.
Hey, that worked out, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is it about Shakespeare for you? You were talking about, you know, the getting into it and so forth. What's it take to get into a Shakespearean character?
I think for me, it's an exploration of the language. If you look at the characters, none of them sound the same when they talk. None of them use the same words. None of them use the same cadence, especially when you look at verse. No one uses the same like typical verse structure. You find the way that these characters think through the words that they choose, and that's how I personally have to start.
Yeah, the language does take a little bit of getting used to. The first time I was ever in Shakespeare was in, ironically, Much Ado About Nothing.
Hey.
Played one of the constables.
Nice.
Didn't have a whole bunch of lines, thankfully, but still, just getting to understand the way that is. And I always sit there and go, and this is the way they used to talk, in terms of the history of it and the translation that you would make into it now, in terms of how you would just say, something simple and go, hey, how's it going? That was probably 4 or 5 words, if not more, in the way that he wrote, I should say.
Yeah.
It'd be great if he were still writing. But at least everybody's putting something on. And I think that it's amazing to me to see how much growth there has been. We've got a South Dakota Shakespeare Festival here in Sioux Falls. We've got Bear Botkins Theater that they played out in the park in the first part of July. You guys are in a park as well, correct?
Yes.
Yes, for Much Ado. And it's every night. What's showtime?
7 p.m.
7
Thursday
p.m.
through Sunday.
Thursday through Sunday. Okay. What else is taking place to make it the festival part besides doing Much Ado About Nothing on a nightly basis?
Yeah. So our artistic director that we mentioned earlier, Rebecca Bailey, is really passionate about accessibility with Shakespeare and bringing it to as many people as possible. So we actually this year have a group of our cast going to the Juvenile Detention Center here in Sioux Falls and doing workshops with them twice a week. They've been doing that for, I think, 3 weeks now. And we will actually bring the entire performance to the center on this upcoming Saturday in the morning before our show. So that's been a huge part as well of this process and of the festival. But I know in Vermilion also there are some small events just throughout the town that are going on as well that are Shakespeare related. So everyone really groups together to celebrate this week of Shakespeare.
Yeah. And so when it comes to doing a festival, you have to get yourself into a different mind frame for your character versus if you were in a theater and just presenting it on a nightly basis.
Yes, I think, at least for me, the idea of we're only doing this show 4 times is beautiful, and it's also very sad for me because I'm having such a great time. But the nature of the outdoor elements of it in the park make it takes more of a toll on our bodies. Thankfully, we have microphones, so we're not screaming the whole time.
Yeah.
But the elements of that just really require a lot more diligence and taking care of ourselves before and between performances.
And as Abby mentioned, this is a small cast, so they play lots of parts, lots of costume changes, etc. So obviously that adds on to the toll by being outside. What's it been like for this particular? Have you rehearsed in the park at all?
So we had our first rehearsal in the park last night.
Okay.
Which, because the park is 2 different stories, I guess you could say, it feels a lot different than where we rehearsed, which was just a flat stage. Now we have 2 different levels. We have 2 bridges that connect these levels. And it's just being in the park, it feels like a giant space that you now get to fill. And obviously our audience will be sitting either on blankets or in lawn chairs and using them as part of the scenery as well.
Right.
Really interacting with our audience is something that we're really looking forward
That's
to.
what I do love about anytime you see Shakespeare in a park is that fact that you may even be called upon to stand up or, yell this at this time, something along that line.
Yes.
And it's just such a fun thing. But so what parts do we have here in this production then of Much Ado?
What parts?
Yes.
The roles that we're playing?
Your roles that you're
yes,
playing.
I am playing Beatrice. And then also, I have a brief little couple scenes as the sexton. Very important character.
Okay.
Star turn, I would say. I am taking over for your legacy. I'm playing Benedict.
Okay.
But I am also playing one of the constables, George Seacole.
There we go.
The bearer of the lantern. I can write and read.
How much studying do you guys do? Because you've obviously studied Shakespeare. You've been in a variety of roles in different plays and so forth. But how much does it get you each time that you really want to delve into something to be that character. What's your process, Abby?
Yeah, so for me, it definitely starts with the language and doing so much research on what it is that we are saying. So many jokes and things that are written, especially in comedies like this, it's supposed to be funny, but it doesn't translate directly to a modern ear. And so doing that research before we even start rehearsals to figure out, what are we saying? What does this joke mean? Why was this funny then? How can we make it funny now? How can we relate to this as a modern audience? So for me, that's the first step. And then learning the lines and finding the character through the language is the next step as we go throughout the rehearsal process.
What does Ronan do for this?
I was talking about this the other day with the cast. Is I think a lot of actors either live by the sort of outside in motto of work or the inside out. A lot of people will start with, how is this character thinking? How is this character living? What do they want? And how does that then inform the way they move through the world, the way they hold themselves? And some actors do the opposite. How does this character move? How does this character breathe? How does this character walk? And that informs the internal life. And I've done both for a lot of different roles, but I think this role in particular, both Benedict and Beatrice are extremely intelligent characters. It's throughout the entire show, it's this what is it? There's a merry war betwixt them, is what Leonardo says. They have a battle of wits throughout the entire show. And so with this role, I'm very similar to Abby. It's, you have to start with their thoughts and their language and their wit, because that is like the foundation of who these people are. And then through that, it informs how the body moves, how it reacts, where the attention is paid on stage.
Have either of you played this particular role prior?
No, this is my first foray into Much Ado About Nothing as a whole.
Wow.
And so it's been a delight. I hope to do it many more times.
Yeah.
I got to be a messenger in this play when I was 19.
Okay.
Never Benedict before.
See, I was a constable and a messenger.
Yes.
Yeah, they got that dual role thing.
Absolutely.
I just remember playing craps.
Was that backstage or on stage?
That was on stage.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we actually did when the three constables are just
That's so
rolling
fun.
dice. Yeah.
That's really fun.
Yeah, because the director said, we got to have something for you three to do here in this moment. So rolling the dice.
That's great.
Now, in terms of Shakespeare festivals, how many different ones have you been in?
Oh, fantastic question. I think this is the first company I've worked with that refers to the work that they do as a festival.
Okay.
But I've worked with many different classical theaters around the country.
Mm-hmm.
Most recently, most of my work has been with the American Shakespeare Center in Stanton, Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
which is sort of a year-round programming theater.
Yeah. Do you get to, in those duties there, do you get to do a little teaching as well, workshopping for kids?
There's a pretty
any age?
robust educational program at the American Shakespeare Center, in a very similar way to the work that's happening at the JDC here at South Dakota Shakes.
Right.
But they have an entire team of educators for that.
Okay.
So I've taken a couple of the workshops and they're fantastic, but they sort of have me focused on the shows.
The shows. Good
Yeah.
deal. All right, Abby, other festivals
Yeah,
or
I think
other companies?
Yes, I think this is my fourth Shakespeare festival. And this is my second time working here. I was here 2 years ago for Merchant of Venice as well. But I've also worked at the New Orleans Shakespeare Festival, the Shakespeare Festival in North Dakota. I've been there a few times. And most recently with Idaho Shakespeare Festival with their educational department touring shows throughout the entire state.
I have a question.
Yes.
What does Shakespeare sound like as a Cajun?
I don't know. Probably just like that. Yes.
There is a thread of research, because my master's was also sort of in early modern scholarship. There's a thread of research that points that the Appalachian accent, what you get around West Virginia, Virginia, Kentucky, things like that, is extremely close, or one of the closest dialects we have today
Oh, wow.
to what the regular folks in Shakespeare's day sounded like.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that Appalachian dialect, the sort of deep, really chesty,
Yeah.
really back in the throat, dark sound in the voice is very similar to the kind of work, what you would have heard
Yeah.
on stage then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's an interesting little tidbit.
Yeah.
See, I host trivia on Monday nights, and we're always looking for different things. And it's like, now that's a great thing.
There you go.
What dialect? We'll make it multiple choice, give them a 1 in 4 shot.
There you go.
All right. So one of the things that we talk about so often when it comes to Shakespeare is, first of all, it has this incredible modern day approach. Every time we think of something in a Shakespearean play, it's like, that's still relevant. Yeah. Does that give you guys an edge then for being able to get into the role? You talk about the things with the language and everything else you do in your character workup, but knowing that it still relates, does that make it a little bit easier for you to not only get into it, but also to present it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. The characters are so universal, and especially with this play too. And I know for myself as Beatrice, she loves so largely, whether that's her family or Benedict, as much as she tries to hide it. And just the feelings, and also that wrestling of, how do I accept love for myself? How do I move through the world, as a woman in society? Although it's not the same society that we're in now, it's still these questions that we are facing every day. And it's really fun to answer those as the character and make it feel so relatable. And I think the audience will take that away too, especially when we really interact with them and look them in the eyes and ask them questions. How should I go about this? How do I profess love? How do I move through the world? And it's really fun to connect with that, knowing that even though these words are hundreds of years old, they are still so universal.
Yeah, and it's phenomenal how that all comes out. So, Ronan, I'll ask you, basically the same question, but what do you think is because even though Much Ado About Nothing is a comedy, obviously a lot of drama, and of course, comedy in itself, you talk to any comic, they've gone through something that they have to use that as a way to build their comedy.
Yeah.
What is the storyline that you hope an audience walks away with from this play?
Such a lovely question.
Thank you. Lovely. Normally I get this, well, that's a great question. And then I always get to use the line, I get in one per conversation.
No, oh my gosh, there's so many. And that's what I love is, like, you can follow each of these characters and they're each learning and growing and changing their minds about things at all times. I think a storyline that I would like people to walk away with from this play is, like, the things that can happen if we just talk to each other.
Oh.
If we just...
Oh my, that doesn't relate to anything modern time.
If we just looked each other in the eyes and told each other the truth about how we felt, even though it was scary, we would save a lot of heartache, a lot of scary moments, and we would get to live in the comedy and the love, like, a lot more.
Yeah. Like, it's kind of meant to be,
Yeah.
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 All right.
The whole play, it's so many people running away from what they want because they are afraid of what might happen when they show that they want it.
Yeah, I am recently retired, and so now I finally get to really concentrate on the things that I want to be doing in my retirement, one of which is something that I do believe Abby already does. Audiobook narration.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to... I've already had one professional demo reel done,
Nice.
but next week at this time, I will be in Omaha and recording 3 different demo tapes.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah, one for just regular commercial use with some characters thrown in as well. One for audiobook, and then one for narration where the coaches that I've had really all think I'm meant for a documentary.
Mm.
Yeah, so
That's exciting.
I think it's cool that you do that then.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, and you didn't even have to wait until retirement for that. All right, so tell us once again, we are in Vermilion this weekend, 18th through 21st, Thursday through Sunday,
Yes.
7 p.m. shows.
Mhm.
And is there a cost to this?
No, it is completely free, non-ticketed. Bring a blanket or a lawn chair. Just show up and have some fun.
That's so excellent. And then in the meantime, you're also going to be Juvenile Detention Center, correct?
Yeah.
And presenting. They've been workshopping some things.
Mhm.
You're going to be providing them on Saturday morning, the full production. That's incredible. I love that whole concept of that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do too.
A couple of things if you want to get to the show a little early, around 6:30, I would say. There's a couple of the other local theaters around Vermilion will be performing. I know The Little Mermaid is going up at one of the theaters in Vermilion, and they'll be doing a number before our show. So a sort of like cross-community theater extravaganza.
Oh, I love the word
Yeah.
extravaganza.
Yeah.
It reminds me, there was I obviously was not in it, but there was a dance group at Southwest Minnesota State when I went there. Yeah, that many years ago. And Gustav Varga was the dance instructor.
Oh.
And he called it the Spring Extravaganza. It's just it was stuck there right in the mind. Got to use that voice sometime.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know how familiar they told you. What they said, hey, one of the great things that Dave does, da-da-da, or, gosh, guy's kind of just an old guy that thinks he's in theater. But I always like to end with you'll get the same question, but then if you come back sometime, you'll get a different question.
Okay.
And then how you answer that first question determines whether we move on to a couple others.
Okay.
All right. Abby Anderson.
Yes.
Tell me now, when you're not part of arts and entertainment, what do you like to be entertained by?
Ooh, I'm a big reader. So give me a day at a library and I will be entertained all day long.
There you go. All right. Any hobbies then?
Yes, living in New York, I get to go explore many things. I love going to museums, just exploring the art scene there in general, or just walking through the park, getting any little bit of nature that I can.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. Ronan, young man.
Yes.
Nice beard, by the way.
Hey, thank you. I've been working on it.
Someday we'll get this color too.
Love it.
So when you're not part of arts and entertainment, what do you like to be entertained by?
I have become a very recent convert to the sport of football or soccer, as we Americans say.
Right.
So it's peak season for me with the World Cup.
World Cup.
Yeah.
You're going to be busy watching a few things, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other hobbies then besides that?
Oh, all the creative, dorky ones, Dungeons and Dragons. I love to read as well. I just, things like that.
All right. Well, thank you both so much. And I'm sure you've been told this many times before, but break legs.
Thank you.
And that's Thursday through Sunday, 7 p.m. each night at the park. And it's free. So get down there. And we will be back with more of the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment.
Walking through the entryway of Phil's Pub, you can't help but notice the show pics and posters from the heyday of live bands in Sioux Falls. Phil's is back. They're on their way to reestablishing their iconic live music venue status. Come on into Phil's for a great local brew. You might just find yourself seeing some of the performers in those pictures, and a very good chance you'll see new acts that will end up being in pictures too. Phil's Pub, your local dive, with music for the people. Follow them on Facebook and other socials. Keep up to date with who's playing at the pub each week here on the Dave Holly Hour.
Dr. Perry Langston and Dr. Corey Tooney know excellence is in you. That's why they provide you with excellent care at XO Chiropractic, improving your overall health in spirit, body, mind, and will. Get results the natural way. Arrange a consultation, 605-332-9235 or exokairos.com. Excellent care for excellent people. XO Chiropractic, located at 4309 South Racket Drive in Sioux Falls.
Looking for great live music this week? Trio Jazz Club has something for every music lover. Thursday, catch legendary vibraphonist Jim McKinney and his group performing classic jazz favorites. Friday, rising jazz pianist Carson Parker brings his acclaimed trio to the stage, showcasing a sound inspired by jazz, blues, and funk. Saturday, it's BBQ and Blues on the patio with the Jesse Kristen Band, featuring great food and smoking live music. Then Tuesday, enjoy the soulful guitar and vocals of Chris Beyer, and Wednesday, join the monthly Blues Jam for a night of live music, community, and unforgettable performances. Grab your tickets at triojazzclub.com, find your seat, and experience it live at Trio Jazz Club.
It's another Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment Conversation on the Dave Holly Hour.
Welcome back, everybody. It is a pleasure to talk Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment. It always is a pleasure to do that. And here's a gentleman that I like to have on occasionally because he's kind of a little bit busy in that department of arts and entertainment. Even from his regular job to everything else he does, he's, well, I'm going to introduce you this time as the man who rarely sleeps. Luke Tatge, how are you?
I feel sleep deprived, Dave. That is an accurate description.
Yeah, because you have so many different things that you have your hands into.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're a creator at your full-time job at Epicosity.
Right.
And then from there, you're involved in so many things. You started up the Sioux Falls Stage Awards. And how many years are we now?
So this year's event will be the 7th annual.
7th annual.
So
yeah,
doing
I like
that
the number 7.
Longer than it feels like it has been.
Yeah.
But it has been 7.
Amazingly so, isn't it? Well, just like this show, episode 324.
Right. You said that number and I almost fainted.
Yeah, because I'm going toward, well, this is technically then the 7th year, the 7th or 6th. The 7th year anniversary then will be October 10th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
big milestone.
I know it. Yep. And we keep going and we find ways to have fun on each of the big numbered episodes too.
Yeah, you do.
I missed it both though. On number 300, I should have done a bowling party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big missed opportunity.
Should have done that, but cash flow at that time wasn't what it needed to be.
Couldn't afford all those lanes.
Exactly. All right. So you are here to talk about 3 different things. My goodness. Which one do you want to start with?
I mean, dealer's choice, I guess. Maybe I don't know the 3 that I should be aware of.
Well, you threw a couple out that it's also great timing, summer-wise, for such and such and such and such.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, good timing about Rise Up session kicking off and Breakthrough 26.
Yes. So
Okay.
Sioux Falls Stage and Gallery has an awful lot of awesome programming stuff
Mhm.
planned for 2026. And last year we added a few new things to our mission-based activities. And so in addition to the Stage Awards next week, we also have our new class of Rise Up Youth Artist mentees that are kicked off as of, I guess it was last week that we met.
Okay.
Mentors and mentees met and did the little orientation. And so that's well on its way. And then the Pavilion's Visual Arts Center team and I have kind of scoped out December for our next breakthrough visual arts exhibit too.
Oh,
so
awesome.
Sort of our 3-pronged
Yeah.
programming as of now.
Yeah, and I like the fact that, yes, you are a publication that comes out monthly yet, right? Or is
It's fully digital, so it comes out when the pixels say it will.
Oh,
so
all
it's
right,
sort of-
yeah. Well,
it's
see,
sort of
you can
just
do it that
intermittent.
way. That's a
Yeah.
great way, and to get an early jump on before you have to go down to the book co-op or something
Right.
to pick it up. But I still love it the published way. That is you did such a great job by making it a classy little publication.
Well, yeah, that was the goal at least. I tried. My background's in journalism, so I'm a little bit
Mhm.
particular about layouts and whatnot.
Right. Yeah.
You can thank Augie for that.
There we go. Thank you, Augustana University. And it wasn't a university by the time you went in, right?
It wasn't. No.
Oh, you were
I'm old
a
school.
college
I'm an
boy?
AC,
Okay. Wow. I didn't
wasn't there
realize
for the
that.
big change. No.
Well, regardless, they put out a wonderful alum. You do such a fine job with everything that you do. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about yet. So we mentioned those two events. But the big reason you're here, 1 week from today, Sioux Falls Stage Awards.
Yes.
7th Sioux Falls Stage Award.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how many categories are there awards for now?
That's a number I should have at the top of my head. I just picked up trophies a couple days ago, and I want to say they had 26 of them for me.
Wow.
So I think 26 is the
Yeah.
number.
We'll go with it.
Unless I got an extra I don't know about.
Well, since you're an old journalism person, you could say more than 25.
Yes.
Over
at least
25. All right. And so how did it start off, though?
Oh, gosh. It was much smaller. I mean,
Yeah.
we were there. It was, thick of COVID, so we were all spaced out with our
Yep.
masks on in the sculpture garden.
Outdoors,
So
yeah.
it's come a long way since then, obviously, and really kind of expanded, especially in the tech areas in particular.
Right.
A lot more representation for the tech teams, which is great.
Because they deserve it.
Oh gosh, yeah, don't I know it.
Especially go to something like one of the TPP shows, one
Yeah.
of their productions, and even if it seems like it's a little simplistic, it's like, man, they got a lot going on here, and we sit typically in the last row, orchestra right in front of the tech people, so we hear a lot of what's going on.
You get the behind the scenes.
Yeah, and I remember somebody told me one time, well, that show had about 600 cues.
Yeah, it's kind of mind-boggling. And honestly, like I always subscribe to the idea that if I don't notice it, it's probably even better.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is to make it so seamless, whether it's lighting or sound. If I don't notice, it's probably a good thing. It means
Right.
they're doing their job really well.
All right. Take us through the process of how someone gets nominated,
Yeah.
and then from there, how is the winner decided?
Well, I've got a very dedicated crew of panelists. We're up to 18 of them, which is amazing. And I think I've got 19 ready to roll for next season too. So those panelists are typically people who already taken a healthy diet of performing arts to begin with, already bought into the idea of attending a lot of arts, and then I sort of send them on their merry way to take a peek at the schedule of everything that's locally produced here in town, and they see as much of it as they can for 12 months straight. And then at the end of May, they cast a ballot and they kind of decide what was the best of the best of the past 12 months.
What's the deadline then? The cutoff for nominations?
So essentially, the year for Stage Awards eligibility is June 1st through May 31st of the following year. So if it's something that took place June 1, which does tend to happen,
right,
it will be eligible
next year.
Yes. So that is the cutoff.
Because I thought some of that, it's like, well, I didn't know if they were going to make it in this. And it's like, oh, I bet we got a little system that's got a specific date, begin and end.
Yeah, that last Old Town show was right under the wire.
Yeah, it was.
At the very end of the period. But yes, it was in the mix.
And from there then, do you narrow it down to a certain number in terms of how many were voted for and then send out the final ballot?
No, so it's just one single ballot.
Just one single ballot?
Yeah,
Wow.
so
Okay.
the panelists vote, and then the top 5 or 3, depending on the category, are the nominees, and the number one vote getter is the winner. So
there we go.
It's pretty straightforward.
Because I think when I was a panelist, there was a second spot, wasn't there?
There wasn't. No,
Oh,
it's
there
always
wasn't?
been that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. My mind is old, though.
Well, yeah.
Oh, thanks for agreeing.
Yeah, so do we all. Yeah.
And what's your favorite part of putting all this together?
Oh, honestly, it's the like production part of it that I get most excited
You
about.
are very good at that too.
Oh, thank you,
and
Dave. Yeah, that's the thing.
so, you know,
I my nerdy background is obsessing over award shows as a kid, and so I did a lot of studying of the Oscars and all the Whoopi Goldberg, Billy Crystal years, and so my brother and I were mildly obsessed with that. And recorded it on the VCR and watched it over and over, and so I would say I'm sort of a student of the genre in terms of award show production. So I think that's mostly my favorite, is dreaming up what it's going to look like, writing the jokes, writing the bits, putting together the entertainment and all the presenters. That's definitely my favorite part.
I have a friend that's going to be in attendance with me. He's from Norfolk, Virginia.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's coming in. We're going to be recording some of his stories,
I love
and
it.
he's going to put together his own podcast, and it's a chance for me to make a little dough.
Yeah.
But so we got a ticket for him,
Perfect.
and
We'll be happy to have
yeah, and he keeps saying, "Well, what is it?" I said, "It's Sioux Falls' version of the Oscars."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and it's
Same level of prestige.
yeah. Well, and everybody likes to put on their best.
Yes.
When
That's
they
also
come.
very fun seeing
Yeah,
what people come up
I
with.
love that. It's like, okay, what's Bob going to wear this year?
I don't even know the answer to that. Too. There's been a lot of sewing happening.
Well,
That's all
a lot of sewing.
Yeah.
That's different instead of just putting it on right off
yeah,
the
it'll be a
rack.
surprise to me the night of. So.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to that. And then, of course, there's another Bob Nelson.
Yes.
He might wear a tuxedo top and shorts.
Yes. He puts together an ensemble. for
Yeah,
sure,
an ensemble. That is
Usually a
one way
hat,
to
though.
put it.
Usually get a hat out of it.
Yeah. You going to be doing pictures like you did last year, or was that special?
No, we're going to do that again. So we'll have a red carpet and a step and repeat
Right.
because that was such a big hit last year. So we'll have a photographer doing sort of those formal glamour shots so people can take advantage of that during the cocktail hour.
All right. Who's going to host this year?
So I have Jacob Womack, local stand-up, really, really funny
Yes, he
guy.
is.
And so he'll be emceeing this year. And he won last year
Right.
the Best Comic Award. So it's timely.
Yeah.
So super excited to see the energy that he brings to it. And then we have some great entertainment lined up too. So Dalton Peterson Trio will be our featured entertainment during the show. And I believe, this might be breaking news, I don't know if I've shared this, but I believe Etta McKinley will be singing with them. So it'll be a wonderful performances in the show. We're planning to have a little moment for Rise Up as well, just like we did last year with one of our Rise Up mentees performing. And then this year we'll also have entertainment during the cocktail hour. So Ben Gertner will be playing hopefully in the Orpheum Courtyard.
Yeah.
With weather, obviously, but that's the hope.
True. But so far it's been pretty decent, really.
Yeah.
We had that
been
one
pretty
stretch
mild.
of 90s, but yeah, we'll take it when it's the upper 70s and to mid 80.
Right.
We'll go with that and run with it, no doubt about it. One of the things that you have, in addition to the awards that we see previously in the nominations, you also have some special dedication awards and so forth. How does that come to be?
So typically, there are sort of three options, I would say, with awards that we've given out in the past few years. We've always had a special distinction. You yourself have been honored with such an award.
That I have from the
affectionately
first.
called the Stinkies. Those were coined by Amy Morrison back in the day. I think you and Amy were both.
That's right.
First-time Stinkies back in the first year. So yeah, but
I have a
that's sort of the
stinky.
colloquial term. Yes, Dave has a stinky. Everyone. So that is usually given to a person or organization that's doing work that maybe isn't covered by one of the other categories. So in the past, you obviously were honored for being such a good promoter and media personality for the arts. Amy at the time for Foley sound work for radio shows. So lots of the sort of like unsung heroes who aren't covered in categories. That's kind of where that ends up going. And then we have what we sort of have as our Life Achievement Award, the Award of Excellence, which typically goes to sort of a long time stalwart of the arts community. A lot of educators have won that.
And we have a lot of those stalwarts.
Yes, indeed. So Terry Zerfus won that last year.
Yep.
She's just this long time, super talented performer.
And she's up for one of the awards this year. Yeah.
That a rarity. Win a lifetime achievement and then
come back
and be
and
nominated
be
for acting the
nominated.
next year. It's kind of baller.
How many times can you be nominated? Obviously, you can be nominated year to year and so forth, but within the show, within the awards, are you only allowed to be nominated once, or
the only
what's it go by?
limitation on number within an actual ceremony is no one can be nominated in the same category more than once.
Okay, yeah.
So that we don't have someone nominated 5 times in a particular category. Mostly that's the goal, is to avoid that. And the crazy thing is we have enough hardworking people in very particular skills that is totally plausible that could happen. So it's a good rule to have in order to kind of mix up the names in a particular category. But otherwise, yeah, it's pretty open-ended.
Okay. So tell me, does your surprise of how talented this community is grow like it does for me, just continually seeing new faces.
Yes.
And we've got 10 years ago, did we have anybody going to a coffee shop and presenting a play? Or
Oh, no.
there were so many different things that we have now that never were, and it just keeps growing. And I'm very excited to see where all of this is going to head.
Yeah.
Where do you predict this?
It is cool. And I think the nice thing about Stage and Gallery is it's kind of given me an impetus to pay attention to that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And so though I myself am not a panelist, I make a point of subscribing to all the companies, going to as many shows as I
Right.
can as well. And I try to have a perfect scorecard
Yeah.
at the end of the season too, just so that I have a sense of like who's doing what's cool, what's working, what's exciting. And so I like to kind of practice what I preach a little bit and actually show up to everything and support when I can. And so I carve out that time so that I can be on the front lines of seeing the new stuff as well. But yeah, it is kind of incredible that every year I assume, okay, we've reached the cap. I know everybody who is a talented performer in Sioux Falls, and then always dozens of new people come out of the woodwork every year. So it's never not exciting.
Yeah. So how many? We talked about how many categories you have. What are the ones you want to add eventually?
Oh gosh. Well, this year, it's been a couple years since we've added a category, but this year we did add one, which I'm really excited about. And that is the ensemble performer category. And so
Right.
a lot of the times those unnamed characters are really putting in the work back there, whether it's super skilled dancers, really additive performers, really great actors or comedic performers. And so it was really exciting to kind of have an opportunity to give those folks a shout out this year, those people who are really working just as hard as anyone else up there and maybe don't get the same level of credit. So that's been really exciting. Beyond that, I mean, gosh, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Do you have suggestions?
It's
do,
a
you
great.
want me to add something, Dave?
Well, podcast of the year. No.
So podcast of the year will be announced next summer. Dave's starting his for-year consideration campaign right now.
Yes. Well, there's talk, Dave, that you might be up for another Stinky or an actual award.
First time, 2-time Stinky Award winner. That is the title you need.
There we go. Yeah. That's going on the resume. So tell us a little bit about the regular job that you have as well at Epicosity as a creator. What do you love working on?
I mean, my favorite thing to work on is, so in my role, I get to work with a lot of clients, particularly like higher ed clients. And so my roster of folks that I work with are a lot of colleges and universities mostly. And surprisingly, so many of them from out of state. Almost all my clients aren't from around here.
Wow.
So I do a lot of out of state travel. And I think my favorite part of the job is getting to come up with campaign themes and write commercial scripts. That sort of thing is usually the thing that scratches the itch the most for me.
Right.
Is writing commercials.
When it comes to doing that for big universities, corporations, and so forth, do they get picky when it comes out, your first draft and so forth?
I think you know the answer to that question. Imagine any business and how many stakeholders and how many people care about how money is being spent. They rightfully have a lot of opinions, and that's okay. That's a good thing. It makes me better.
Right. You ever get offended by it though?
Maybe when I was younger.
Right.
When I was
but
first
you gotta
starting, I got
you gotta push it
about
off after that, don't you?
Yeah. I'm prepared for anything.
What's been your favorite campaign that you came up with?
Oh gosh, I think of recent ones, the one that I maybe was proudest of that I got to be a part of was our Department of Health campaign we did for anti-smoking.
Oh yes,
and
remember it well.
Yeah, right. I mean, you were part of that one too. So that we did a particular new campaign where I got to work on essentially a short film, and it was teased and played during the Super Bowl this past year, which was really exciting. I'd never had a commercial play even during the local Super Bowl section. So getting to work on that felt really meaningful, and getting to work on a full 9-minute film, which is not something I've ever been able to do, was really exciting. So getting to be on a team of what felt like a pretty legit film crew with a lot more roles and trailers and like the whole ball of wax, and kind of being the one to bring the script and the direction to that was nerve-wracking and very fun.
Well, so here you do that. You're right at work. You come home and you write
Yeah.
and write and write, and you produce and you direct, you act. Is there anything we're missing?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, that sounds like an accurate list. Saying right about 8 times is probably about the right.
the big part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is I love all of it, so that's helpful.
Mhm.
So it's mostly a job of deciding which thing I love I'm gonna put the most energy on a given day.
How many shows have you written?
Oh, like stage shows?
Yes.
I believe the one I'm working on right now is number 10.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was a relentless pace for a while there. So I got to take this past year off, which was nice.
Good.
But yeah, including a piece I did for Spotlight, I think I'm at 10 now.
All right. Wow. Busy.
Yeah.
And sleep deprived.
Well, yeah. I mean, as I get older, I don't really have much say in when I'm tired anymore, as I used to.
That's
I used to
true.
be able to will myself to stay awake, and now it doesn't work so much. So,
I can wake up very refreshed
yeah.
and get my morning tea and sit down, start watching the local news and then the Today Show and so forth. And I'm already ready for a nap. Life
Yeah.
changes that way.
Yeah, I believe it.
Well, especially now retired, I can actually nap whenever the hell
That
I
is
want.
on the table. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an option.
But actually, the funny thing is, I'm being more productive.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I've got a lot going on. I'm very happy about what I have going on, and always happy to see you, Luke, and see the great things that you're doing, and so appreciate the fact that we have an awards like this.
Yeah.
When you started it, did you think, is this really a good idea, or do you think people get upset, or did you have worries about it?
Honestly, not really.
Okay.
I mean, it was started so earnestly as this excuse for all these folks who spend so much time in rehearsals and so much working on their own things that don't get a chance to see
Right.
each other. And so it really started as this opportunity to get all these people who are sort of in their corners creating together in one room for one night. And even just the first few years being able to see the hugs and the laughter and how
Yeah.
much people appreciated having an excuse to hang out together. That was mostly the goal. And so that sort of earnest mission has stayed top of mind since then. It's just like, it's so fun to see everybody bump into each other.
That it is.
Yeah.
And looking forward to another fun time next Thursday.
Yes.
Doors open at what time?
So the show this year is at the Orpheum. So make sure you don't go to the Belvis.
Right.
I mean, you can, but it might be locked. So the Orpheum Theater, June 25th, Thursday night. The doors to the building will open at 6 for the cocktail hour, where you'll be able to do the step and repeat, get your red carpet photos, get checked in early, grab a seat, have some drinks, enjoy Ben Gertner playing some tunes. And then the actual show itself will start at 7.
Fantastic.
So,
And by 10?
yeah, it's pretty, I mean, it's
With
pretty
26
clockwork.
awards.
I feel
Yeah.
like it's almost always finished up by 9:30. So,
Yeah. Well, it's one of those that I go, should have stopped there, taking in another breath to stay awake.
right.
Yeah, but
It's
I've
a
never
well-oiled
really,
machine, Dave. I
I've
gotta keep it
never,
at the right time.
I've never been going like that when I've been to the Sioux Falls Stage Awards.
Well, good. That's a good
It's
sign.
entertaining throughout, so we'll have that. All right, you are a multiple-time guest,
Yes.
so you've had various questions in the past to end the conversation. I don't think I've passed this one along to you, though.
Okay.
What would be the title of your autobiography?
Oh no, I should have known. I've heard you ask this to other people. I should have known this was coming. Oh my gosh, Dave. Do you have suggestions? Dave, I write all day and all night. I run out of ideas at a certain point.
Hey, there we go. I've run out of ideas.
Yeah, listen.
Okay.
I mean, that by the time I'm old enough to write a
Well,
memoir and
yeah.
have earned it, maybe that will be my sentiment.
All right. Luke Tatge, always a pleasure. Thanks for coming to be on the show once again. And we'll be back to wrap up the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment.
It's a fresh new look for DaveHollyHour.com. Besides catching up on episodes, find Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment websites. See what Dave likes on the Dave's Faves page. Get more information about our wonderful sponsors. Check out the news and notes section to find out what past guests are up to, and sign up for our newsletter. It's all at your searching and surfing fingertips. DaveHollyHour.com.
The Dave Holly Hour, like eavesdropping on a great conversation between two very interesting people.
Thanks again to my wonderful guests, Abby Anderson and Ronan Melomo and Luke Tatge. Our show website is DaveHollyHour.com. Check out the updated look. Additionally, you can listen to any of the now 324 shows anytime you want. This show is also available on your favorite podcast platform. Thank you all for supporting local arts and for taking the time to download so many episodes. I encourage you to find your art, find the art you enjoy, find the art you're interested in trying, and we shall see you in the arts. As the Sioux Falls Arts Council says, together we art. As Arts South Dakota says, home is where the art is. As I say, put some art in your heart. Remember, my name is Dave Holly, and for me, every day is a holiday.
The Dave Holly Hour has been brought to you by Trio Jazz Club, Sioux Falls' premier jazz club. Enter as friends, leave as family. Phil's Pub, your local dive with music for the people. Chaser's Food and Spirits, XL Chiropractic, and Quality Nails. Stay up to date on the show by following on Instagram and Facebook. All episodes available anytime at DaveHollyHour.com. The Dave Holly Hour is produced in the Dipsy Doodle Studios by Big D Entertainment.
Thanks for listening.